math and random. So we can start with our first chapter, math class. Java provides the math class for performing common mathematical operations. It is the utility class that contains only static methods. Okay, so we can call them directly on the class. What are static methods? Any static method we can call directly on class name. We don't need to create instance of that class. Okay, math.abs -5, that means we will get +5 in this one. Since it is in the java.lang package, so we don't need to import, because Java automatically import java.lang package for each .java file. All right. Basic utilities: math.max, math.min, math.absolute, math.square root. Okay. So let's check this one. Int a equals to 10, math.sqrt a. And if you click on that sqrt, then you will come here. It will return double. Okay. So you need to store that. If you want, you can store that. Compile this one and run this one. So we got that. So you can test these methods from yourself. Okay, very easy. Then power and exponents. So Java does not have like this kind of syntax for exponentiation. Instead, we use one utility method. Okay, math.pow. Okay, so syntax simple. This one will be your base. This one will be your exponent. So this one is also double. Okay, and you can also search by Control+F. You will get its implementation, also double. Okay. Return type, math.pow always returns a double, even if both arguments are integers. Okay, we have seen that method implementation, it returns double. Okay, so we can cast the result if you need an int. Right, then we have rounding methods. First one is round. Okay, standard rounding rounds up if the decimal part is 0.5 or greater. Okay, down otherwise. This one will get 4 and this one will get 3. Okay, same as mathematics. Then we have math.ceil. Ceiling always rounds up to the nearest whole number. Okay, it doesn't matter 3.1 or 3.9. Then we have math.floor. Floor always rounds down to the nearest whole number. Again, it doesn't matter 3.9 or 3.1. Okay. Then we have some constants. Math class also provides some precise values for common mathematical constants. Math.pi. Remember, these are constants, and from naming convention that we know, for constants we use capital letters, right? Java uses that convention by default. So math.pi, you can get very precise value. Math.e 2.7, right? Now we have quick summary for that. We can use math.abs, we can use math.pow, and we can use math.round. Okay, math.pi and math.e provide high precision constants. Now we can move to our next chapter, which is random numbers. So computers are deterministic. They do exactly what they are told. How do they generate random numbers? They generate pseudo-random numbers using mathematical algorithms that produce sequences appearing statistically random. Okay, and this is sufficient for games, simulations, and most application logic, though not for cryptographic security, right? Now, Java provides two main approaches for generating random numbers. First one is math.random, the simplest approach. It requires no imports and returns a double, okay, between 0.0 inclusive and 1.0 exclusive, right? Something like that. Now, generating a number in a range, because not always you want in this range like 0.0 to 1. You want something in range like say 1 to 100, 1 to 1k, 1 to 10k, something like that. So we have one formula for that. Math.random, you can multiply max minus min plus 1 plus min, something like that. Okay, we are casting here int, and you can forget that for now. So math.random will return 0.0 to 1, okay, and we are multiplying with that with max minus min plus 1. Let's say we have max 100 and we have min 1. So we multiplied that with 100, okay, and we have min 1. So we will get 1 to 100, right? So multiply with 100 produces a value from 0.0 to 99.99, right? And we can cast to int, so 0 to 99, right? And we can add minimum value, so adding 1 shift the range from 1 to 100. Simple math. So you have min equals to 1 and max equals to 100, then you can create your random number between 1 and 100 using this formula. Okay, but if you don't want that, okay, then you can use one random class and you can import that from java.util package, because this one is not from java.lang package. Okay, so you must import. For more control and readability, you can use random class from util package. It provides type specific methods for generating integers, booleans, and doubles. Okay, import that and you can create one object, generate numbers. Int x random dot next int 10. So it generates 0 to 9. Next boolean, true or false. Next double. Again, by default range is 0.0 to 1.0. Okay. Okay, then we have one note, exclusive upper bound, next int 10, generates numbers from 0 to 9. The bound is exclusive, okay, so you will never get that. You can do one code practice for that, just for understanding. We can make that, let's say 10 and 1k, right? And we can print that, and we can run again and again to see the different outputs. So this time we got 398. Let's just run this again. We don't need to compile. This time we got 231. Let's run this again. 163. Let's run this again. 649. Okay, so you can see that. Also, if you want something similar, then we can also import random. Okay, so we can also provide same formula here, right? And compile this one, run this one. So we are getting similar things. Okay, now we have quick comparison between math.random and random class. Setup, none, no import needed, because this one is included from java.lang package, which is by default imported to each .java file. Okay, and for that we requires import and also object creation, because not all methods are static methods here. You can see in this one, this one is not static method. That means you need to create one instance of this class. Okay, data types only double. You can return int, boolean, float, double, long, anyone you want. Now range control requires manual formula, built-in next int, bound. Okay, best for quick one-off random values. Applications needing multiple random values of different types. Then we have summary here. Let's move to our next one, which is conditionals.